Peugeot oil light keeps coming on. What to do? Hello YouTube, this is the Triumph guy and I'm going to talk to you about what happened to me recently. So as you can see, the oil light's flashing on here. Now if you brake and it just flickers on, then you're probably going to need to top up. In this situation, it's keep flicking on and off. What you need to do is pull over, check the oil. If it's full, then you've got a problem on your hand, because what that means is that your strainer's probably full. And how you're going to access this is jack the car up and even locate the sump. It looks like this. Then you are going to remove the oil drain plug, which is just down there, with a 8mm hex socket. Okay, and then you're just going to drain the oil like so into a bucket. You're going to remove the bolts around the sump and then try and pry it off with a screwdriver. Just be really careful with this. It should be a really thin flatted screwdriver or pick. Try not to bend the sump. These are better, a scraper, okay, or even better is one of these specialist oil sump removal tools, okay, because they're glued on with this silicone stuff and it's horrible. Here it is in action. Just going to put it in and tap away with the hammer. Sorry about the filming, it's quite tight under the car, but you just tap away and then you work your way around the sump where possible. I only did 50% of the sump and then I could lever it off and it worked an absolute treat. Buy a brand new sump just in case I damaged it, and turns out it was bent in 2 different places. Alright, so it was a good job that I did replace the sump. Here's the sump off. As you can see how much horrible sealant stuff they use, it's absolutely minging. And then we're underneath now, and as you can see, that oil pickup is absolutely clogged, full of debris from the wet belt system, which is an absolute joke, I had. And this is why the light was coming on and off. So what we're going to do is, it is actually pretty tough, the strainer itself, but I just used like the like curved bit of a pick, so it's like wasn't sharp at all. I'm not using a screwdriver. You can use your glove with and just gently just pull it off, and yeah, it's quite satisfying to do. It really isn't that hard, and it's a good job that they do have this, otherwise it would end up in the engine. Let's try and get the debris on a rag and then just sift through it, see if there's any like metal shards in there and any actual full-size teeth. Next you're going to want to clean off this outside of the gasket, because again it's that horrible sealant stuff. And here I am scratching it away. You can use the Stanley blade, you can use the tool I just used then, use one of them scrapers I pictured earlier, and then maybe some scotch brite. But the thing is, what you don't want to do is scratch this surface, okay? You just want to take off the gasket material. As you see, this is the standard I got it to. I know it's not perfect, but at this point I did start applying the sealant on the sump, and the reason being is because it takes 15 minutes for this stuff to set on the actual sump before you're supposed to put the sump on. So that's why I applied this sealant, went back to the car, rubbed off the rest of it whilst this was dry, and set an alarm on my phone. So what have you got to do? So get your new sump or your old sump, make sure this surface is completely clean before you start. I'm using the Granville gasket sealant, and essentially all you got to do is put it on, right, and let it set for 15 minutes. And this is how I personally put it on. So all you're going to do is you're going to cut the you're going to pierce the lid, then you're going to cut the end off, use a Stanley knife. These are like you can cut the lid to the thickness you need the bead to go. Either do it on the raised bit on this, or on the inside of the raised bit. I'm not that amazing at it, as you can see, I'm not that neat. Then you go on the inside, the bolt holes all go all the way around. I just go all the way around, and then it's really important, once it's all on, you let it set for 15 minutes to get that like tacky silicone thing. The reason being is it needs a bit of air and the moisture in the air to cure, and yeah, you're just going to work all the way around here like so. I was letting that cure 15 minutes. I finished off the rest of the mating surface, and then you put the sump on. And how I do it is I do the central bolts and work my way out. This just gets rid of any air bubbles. And also what you've got to consider is you've got to wait about 24 hours until you put fluid in. I then torqued these up to 11 newton meters, which doesn't seem like much, but that's how I did it. So I just pinched them close, then went back over the torque wrench 15 minutes later, and then let it set for 24 hours, and then I put oil in, and I didn't get a single leak. I then put some rags underneath to check for leaks. Okay, well, used a clean rag, unlike me, but it just shows you. Then you're going to top up the oil because you would have drained it, and then look how clear the oil is on there. Okay, but just note that it's not going to be black because you would have just dropped it. And this is the reason why that you're going for all this, because this stupid wet belt system. Now you then need to get this changed. Okay, but this is just to get you home. And as you can see, no squeaks, no pressure lights. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.